for the boys.
Woo! Oh, I fucking...
So what is going on, guys? Welcome to today's vlog, and I want to start this off right away by saying I know my lips are still red. Turns out I freaking sunburned my lips because I'm just that white and that stupid. And so yeah, now I gotta deal with pink lips, red lips, very itchy and freaking painful lips for, I don't know, it's already been like 2 weeks, so this sucks. But anyway, today I'm with Brian. We're out here in Fontana, California. Today is Drag Racing Nationals, featuring the all-wheel drive shootout class today. So as you can kind of see already, it's got some rain to it, and so hopefully this kind of clears up, because I'm not a big fan of drag racing. Obviously, if you watch my channel, I've mentioned that before, but it is pretty cool to see in person. So I would kind of like to see some fast cars in person. And Robert's supposed to be racing, Robert from Hush, obviously. So yeah. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much, because I'd like to have my camera out so I can film some stuff, and I just like to have a good day out here. It's nice. I mean, we're in California. It's always nice, always a good time. So hopefully to see you guys, some of you guys here. I posted up that I was gonna be out here. Some of you guys said you would be out here, so if you're out here, see you there. Fontana.
Oops, you threw your lens cap, dude.
Bad person.
We can help him unpack, since he's a one-man show.
No Emiliano this
Nope.
time. A couple days later now, and California was, I want to say, cool, but we didn't get to do anything because it was raining the entire time. The Drag Race Nationals was the course of Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is when me and Brian were out there. We met up with Robert. We helped out at the booth, and nobody got to race that day because of the rain. So it would drizzle for a bit, then they'd go to dry up the track, then as soon as they'd finish, it would drizzle more. So unfortunately, nobody got to race. All I got to see was a few cars get dynoed in the parking lot, and a few people just hot-boying it around in the parking lot and on the side street right there at the Auto Club Raceway or whatever. So that was kind of a bummer, but it was still a trip out to California. I guess if you guys have seen the memes already, Frank from Downstar tried fighting the guy from Saucepot or whatever, so if you want to go look that up, that's kind of funny, because I had just talked to Frank probably like 10 minutes before he went to go do that. He stopped by the booth to say what's up and talk to us and whatnot. But yeah, then just went straight home that night. And then Sunday, what did I do Sunday? Oh, Sunday, my brother and I got to doing the Del Sol. So the Del Sol is now nice and clean, very shiny, 9-day difference. Found out it's also been resprayed before, and it's also a single stage paint apparently. So 2 out of my 3 cars are single stage, and the third one I think is spray paint at this point. So whatever. But yeah, I'll show you that here in a second. And then on top of that, I think I also went and skated one of these days. I don't know, Monday I think. So here's a clip from that. I didn't get to go film too much, and I may go back out today, but I don't know, we'll see. But here's that footage. now here's the Del Sol. I don't know how well you can tell on camera how reflective and glossy it is, but I mean, especially on the trunk lid right here, definitely noticeable. I mean, other than like the water drops because it did rain the last like 2 nights, but yeah, the car just looks so much better, especially this rear bumper. Like, just looks so mint. But yeah, so that's all good now. All 3 of my cars are actually pretty clean, like at least physically clean. And as for my traction bar, a lot of you guys left comments on the installation video about you guys have had it before and it snapped the welds on the nuts on the inside of your frame rails, or that I should weld it up. I even met a couple of you guys at IBOC, and one of you guys had said that you ran the K20 traction bar previously and you had the same exact issue. So I've had mine on for 2 weeks now. I've driven the car, I don't know, a couple times since I put it on, and I haven't had any issues yet. I still need to get the car aligned, but nothing's loose. I just, right before I started filming here, I picked it up, a wrench, and I tightened everything back down, or made sure everything was tight and nothing had loosened up. So like I said, mine's a generation 3, so mine tucks up really high as compared to the older ones, which I'm assuming all you guys had. So I'm not defending K20 in the sense of like their design and their mounting points is the best idea, because the subframe bolts is a much better idea. But in the event that this does break off, I'll probably just either weld it to the frame rail, or I will cut in from the wheel well and re-weld the nuts back into place. It's not an issue. It's not that big of a deal. But if it does break because of that, or if it does break the nuts off, then I'll definitely be sure to tell you guys, because I mean, K20 hooks it up, but I'm not getting paid to say that it's like the best product or nothing. So I'm gonna just give you guys my honest opinion on it if it does break. So when we cross that bridge, then I will get to it. So one of the things I need to do hopefully this weekend is shift my engine over, because check out my rear mount. So if you guys can't really tell, my bushing's totally torn on this side, and you can't really tell just by looking at the engine, but these holes right here, for example, as you can see, are slotted, and mine is pulled all the way to the right. So I need to readjust my motor. I don't know how I messed that up whenever I installed the motor, or how we didn't catch that the rear mount was that crooked. I noticed it probably like 2 months ago when I tried shifting the rear plate over, because those holes are slotted as well. I just wasn't able to do it by myself. So yeah, hopefully this weekend we can get the car over to Brian's house on the lift if he gets his rams fixed, and try and get this done. So obviously I just have to support the motor from underneath and loosen all the mounts and shift it over, but it's kind of hard to do that by yourself, especially when you just have one jack. So, and I still need to paint my valve cover. I really want to wrinkle paint it, just because I like how the wrinkle paint finish looks. No matter how I paint it, I'm going to do it black, because any other color is not going to accent well with this freaking spark plug cover thingy. So yeah, that's going to get wrinkle painted. I just have to order a can, because nobody local carries it. I've checked all my paint stores and automotive stores. And then still waiting for the RBC manifold, if Brian is still willing to trade me like he had said. So if so, great. If not, then got to get some money for another one of those. And I still have to order some intake piping from, I'm probably just going to do Vibrant Performance, because obviously I can just make it all myself, and I can just order the sections that I need from them, and that way I know it's good stuff and I don't have to worry about being cheap about it or something. I don't know, actually, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we have some stuff laying around at work, but yeah, so that's also what's going on next. And as for the roll bar, I mentioned previously that we took the roll bar out of Carter's car, so we're still going to be trying to mock up a couple of roll bars for my car, Roy's car, and Willie's car. So we're gonna be making like 3 roll bars for the DAs. But yeah, that's, hopefully we can do that as soon as possible, because I really want to get out on the track, and like I said, the harness bar is not track legal, and neither is my 4-point harness. So thankfully we actually get a discount at Hassport through one of the local like safety track safety people, like companies out here, so I can get cheaper harnesses that are 5 points. All you got to do is drill a hole through the floor for the eyelet and bolt it down. And yeah, if we can get this roll bar done quickly, then I may be able to race hopefully in the next, like, well, not next month, because I'm not gonna have the money for that, because it's like I still gotta get my license, which is like $300 bucks. But hopefully maybe in December or January for sure. And also finally, just to update you guys quickly, last thing on the Civic, just waiting for YouTube check to hit this month, and I'm going to order the bushings and ball joints for it. So here it sits. But I just finally called around, and the AutoZone right up the street finally got some Wrinkle paint, so let's go see if it's actually what I called about, because Lord forbid they get something right there. And if they have the Wrinkle paint, then I'm going to go get that, and I'm going to do my valve cover today, and we'll make that the video. So also while I'm out, I was just looking, and I still need to make some block offs around my radiator, essentially. I don't know what else to call it, but so I get more airflow directed at my radiator and not halfway around my radiator, because that's where, or sorry, not around my radiator, because that's where half my air is going, because I got so much space. So I'm gonna see if Home Depot has some like sheet metal that I can use to trim up, because I've got a few spots here, like little holes for factory like harness clips and stuff that are not being used, so I can just use a nut and bolt to hold the sheet in there. And there's a few spots on my radiator that actually have little threaded pieces for a bolt to go into, so that's perfect. I literally just need some material and to cut it to shape, and hopefully can find something. So let's get over there. Enough talking. I've done that enough this video so far. Alright, so got the Wrinkle paint, got some sheet metal. This is pretty thick stuff. It's 16 gauge, so may have been a bit overkill, but the other stuff, the only other stuff that was there was super flimsy, just like aluminum. And yeah, I don't know, it looked like it was probably gonna flop around, maybe even bend if there's too much air going against it. So I'm gonna just pop the valve cover off right away, start trying to strip the paint on it, because it's gonna be difficult because there's so many little crevices in it. And then while it's soaking up the paint stripper, I'm gonna pop the front bumper off here and start mocking stuff up. So I haven't looked under the valve cover here since I did my valve lash whenever I first swapped the motor, and it's still looking really clean, so stoked. So yeah, valve cover's off. I'm gonna start stripping that, and like I said, pop the bumper off, but yeah, I'm gonna cover this first, because obviously valve cover Wrinkle paint takes a while to dry. I'm gonna not put the valve cover on for like a day so I know it's fully cured. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab a trash bag and cover this up. So the paint stripper didn't go very well because I only had like a quarter of a can left, so hardly got anything off. So now I'm just using the good old wire wheel, and I'd say I'm about halfway done stripping this. Got this the top and the sides, so I'm gonna have to do in here still, but just gonna finish up doing around it, and then yeah, then I'll just take some sandpaper and try and scuff up inside, and then I think I'm gonna primer it, because I think the Wrinkle will turn out better with a primer, and it's better to have something to stick to anyway, obviously. That'll be easy though, but yeah, it's just really gonna have to spray this out of here though, because I didn't realize all the baffles in here. So good thing I got an air chuck though. Lots of brake cleaner, lots of air. Got it all stripped off now. I'm gonna just hose it off and spray it with some degreaser just to get the last little bit of like fingerprints and stuff off, and then I will dry it out. This is why I got the compressor going, and then primer it and go from there. So while the compressor's filling up, I'm gonna pop my bumper off really quick. My valve cover's all masked off. I put some Vaseline on the lettering, so that way I should be able to just wipe it off, and it's cleaned off, so it is ready for primer. And then yeah, obviously then I'll spray it, and after I spray this, I'll start working on that. So alright, so the first coat is done. we'll give it a little bit to dry and go at it again. May have to go pick up a second can though, so I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the third coat to dry on the paint, I went ahead and got some pieces cut up. So essentially what this is gonna do is, you can see I've already got some holes here, one up here, and then I've got these two bolt holes on the radiator. So I'm gonna just basically kind of do it like something like that. I don't know. I'll probably have to bend it a little bit in the middle, and yeah, just like that. So that way it's blocking the air to go to the radiator and not so much here, because that's obviously where I'm losing a lot of my airflow at. Alright, so got it all done. That should definitely help with the airflow, because there was some good sized gap on the side of the radiator. Probably about 1.5 inches, so just got that little bit right there. And I'm still going to have to make something for the top. But we'll see how this does. I'm sure this will definitely help, and I still do plan on getting a small 10-inch fan for the front of the radiator, but now that that's done, I'm gonna go check on the valve cover. It's pretty much dry. It's just not dry like cured and wrinkled all the way yet. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to put the bumper on and come back to the valve cover probably tomorrow, and I'll have to finish the video then, because I don't want to cut it off without you guys actually seeing it in the car. Yeah, definitely not dried yet. Got a little bit of zebra striping. I got a little bit of the can left, so I'm probably going to try and just toss the rest of it on there, just because the heavier the better, essentially, from what the can says. So I got impatient and I used the heat gun to speed it up. It's not fully done, and I'm not going to fire the car up or anything since I have to work in the morning anyway. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, here it is, finished product. Mostly finished product. Still kind of getting some of the wrinkles. So I'm pretty stoked on it. That was my first time ever using wrinkle paint, and I think it turned out pretty good. So yeah, like I said, it should cure more and wrinkle more overnight and throughout tomorrow and stuff. I'm gonna check on it when I get home from work. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna just wrap this video up here. It's already been a long enough day for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I felt pretty productive. Got the valve cover painted finally, and I got some brackets made, or some block off plates made, so I'm not losing so much air around the radiator and it's going through the radiator. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know, the whole ordeal. Do what you love, forget about the rest, all that good stuff. And see you guys in the next video. Peace out.